You are now listening to the number one podcast in the multiverse with your hosts, Azrin and Alfika.
This is All the Way with A&A.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of WandaVision, WandaVision, where we recap episode 3 and 4. We didn't do an episode last time, so technically this 3 is going to be answered in 4, but I just want to run through it because episode 3 is like my favorite episode so far. How are you doing, Fico?
I'm alright. How about you?
You're doing good?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Yeah.
Alright, you okay? Let's straight
despite the
jump into it.
circumstances.
Because I know we're dealing with some time zones right now, even though we're just 1
Yeah.
hour apart.
No, it's no big deal.
It's no big deal. All right. So, just quick recap. What do you remember about episode 3 that stands out to you now?
Wanda had two babies.
Oh, yes.
I forgot what happened before that.
The whole thing was, I think I told you like off the air. I said episode 3 made me appreciate my mom because you had to go through childbirth and all that, which is quite nice, man. Seeing the things the new parents have to go through, and
Yeah. Of course. So that's a given.
yeah,
And then that girl outed herself by didn't your brother get killed by Ultron? You know, that's
oh
like
man, oh bro, I gasped, when she really said Ultron, who hasn't been mentioned since his movie. He said the name was
since
said.
this movie like 6 years ago.
Yeah, and then the mention of the name, and Pietro was mentioned even, hasn't been mentioned since 2015, and now he's mentioned, and all of a sudden it triggers this hidden memory, and Wanda turns into a scary version of the character that I've never seen before.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but just quickly before all that happened, I want to touch on how detailed the episode was in terms of they went all out in the babies' names. They really said Tommy and Billy.
Yeah.
That's so
I
cool.
didn't get that. Like, can you explain to me what's so important about those two names?
Honestly, when I saw the episode, I knew the twins were Speed and Wiccan, but I didn't know the real name. So when they were like Tommy and Billy, I thought they were just making up some generic names from like the textbook baby names, But then I googled it afterwards, and they really stuck to the canon of the comics, where Tommy and Billy are the real names of Speed and Wicked. Yeah.
So are they speedsters or what?
Speed is a speedster given by his name. Tommy is more like his mom in that he can control reality, and there's a bunch of theories out there to see. They're saying that whether the babies are real or whether they will grow up to be Speed and Wicked, we don't know. But what we do know is that if they turn out to be real, then as you mentioned last week in the comics, not all of the babies are all of Wanda, right? Not all of the babies are themselves. They have a part of somebody else in them as well. Yeah, do you think that, no, not Vision, do you think that Mephisto is part of it? Yeah.
Yeah, I explained this last episode where in the comics, Mephisto was the one who indirectly impregnated Wanda somehow. I don't know how exactly, but I know that happened. Like, he did some voodoo type magic, and boom, Wanda got pregnant.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Which in turn
So
he needs to absorb the babies afterwards, which makes her go crazy.
yeah, which happens now in the show. Where, now more questions have been asked,
Yeah.
are being asked. So
Yeah. Oh yeah, speaking of the
so
show, there's a commercial in episode 3 where it's now sponsored by Hydra Soak, which is I don't know, man, the ever-growing theory in these commercials is the man and the woman in all the commercials are the same man and woman. So people are saying that maybe this might be her vision, no pun intended, vision of her parents, or because the mom and dad, or I mean, the woman and the man are the same people. Why would the same people appear in all the commercials?
No, that's a good theory. It could be her mom and dad,
Yeah.
or it could be Agatha and Mephisto. So
Oh,
that's another.
that's a great theory I never heard before. But again, if it's a mom and dad, it's kind of a missed opportunity that the dad is not Magneto as it is in the comics. So if it's her mom and dad, I would be kind of like let down because it's like that's not your mom and dad. Maybe that's your adopted mom and dad, but that's not your mom and dad. That's not your real dad.
I might uh let's just continue with the thing before I spoil anything.
Oh,
I don't know if it's like a big spoiler or if it's a big deal because it's been announced that Stephen Strange is gonna be in the series. Like
wait.
he's gonna make like a short appearance.
I don't.
I don't know if it's true or not.
I don't
Maybe
think
it's
so.
rumor.
Nothing's been announced. I keep in touch with this thing every day, man. What do you hear this?
I don't know. Maybe it's a rumor.
Hey,
Maybe it's a
but
rumor.
but my theory from last week, from episode one, I said, you know what? If there's anybody who is gonna make a cameo, I think it's gonna be Stephen Strange. But yeah, I wouldn't be disappointed. But it's just that nothing's been confirmed. Like we don't even know. Yeah.
Yeah, but we know that we need to see the series before watching
Oh
the
yes.
the movie,
Yeah, his sequel
Doctor
movie.
Strange. And,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. So yeah, you
Okay,
mentioned.
go on.
Yeah, you mentioned the weird kind of presence of Geraldine, who comes in her house and acting neighborly, like, hey, can I borrow some stuff? And then she walks into the room and she sees a baby's crib, and she's like, whoa, wait a minute, are you pregnant? She drops the vase and reveals her, because she's been hiding that she was pregnant all this time, because nobody gets pregnant in 8 hours with a full 9 months baby developed. So so then eventually Geraldine knows that yeah,
The first half was just like on Wanda, right? Like
yeah,
we were just looking at her stomach getting bigger every scene.
yeah,
That's it, right? That's
that's it.
why I didn't I felt like I didn't miss anything because
Yeah,
I thought there were more to it.
until the end, when Vision has to
Yeah,
go
of
grab the
course.
doctor, and then after she gives birth, Vision he was about to walk into the house when he notices Herb, the neighbor Herb, and Agnes walking or talking together, and they were like discussing something under their breath. We don't know what it is they're talking about, but then Vision was like, hey guys, what you talking about? And then Agnes was like, hey, is Geraldine in the house? And then she says, yeah. They notice something strange about Geraldine. She doesn't have a house. She doesn't, how she came here was a mystery. She doesn't have a house. We don't know where she's from. She's new. And then what made me like, what made my hair stand up was when Herb says he was about to reveal it, and then Herb says, we're all. He was about to say we're all something, and then Vision was like, we're all what? And then, Agnes was like giving him the look. From that, I want to ask you, man, when Agnes gave Herb the look of kind of like fear, do you think she's in it as well? Or she's, like we theorize she was Agatha Harkness?
Uh, like you mean like she's playing them all along? Is that your question?
My question is, if she was really the villain, right? She would look into
Hmm.
Herb and say, you know what? She would look into Herb like a threatening way, like don't say anything or I will kill you. But the way she looked at Herb was, don't say anything because we will die. It's kind of like in fear. So I don't know whether,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, you're right. Like
So that throws me off.
any, anything they say that will incriminate them, that could potentially incriminate them, will result to their untimely death. So maybe that's why they were looking at each other in fear, as you said.
Yeah. And
But
yeah,
I
again,
still don't want to disregard the Agatha Harkness
same here.
theory.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll get into
That
that in
one is
episode 4. But episode
yeah.
3, that throws me off because, if she was really the villain, she wouldn't have given this look of terror instead of like,
Mm.
yeah. So then she cycles away, and then her was like, "Catch you on the flip side, Vision." It was the best line of the episode. I want a T-shirt that says "Catch you on the flip side, Vision." So um, Herb, when he was about to say, "We're all," in my mind, after I watched this episode like 2 times, in my mind I was like, the missing word has to be trapped or something like that. We're all trapped, or we're all stranded, or we're all prisoners, or something like that, because he can't be saying we're all dead, because I don't know, maybe we're all dead is an option, but again, we'll get into that in episode 4. But even the doctor says, we can't go to this vacation, it's a small town, it's hard to escape. So yeah, that's another clue of what her was trying to say.
Yeah, I think that's interesting too. I
Yeah.
think it's just scared or just confused, like what's going on.
Yep.
Like could be anything. Yeah.
Yeah. And meanwhile, in the house, Geraldine and Wanda was getting into it. If we didn't see the trailer when Geraldine gets, yeeted out of the compound, I would have thought that she would kill her, like she was so menacing and threatening to this girl that I thought she was about to kill her. That's it. It's game over.
Mm.
Yeah. But yeah, then she just threw her out of the force field. Yeah, and then
Yeah, she came in like not knowing what happened, and then she got I don't know what happened to her. I guess when you enter, you gain another identity, or you immediately gain another identity. You forgot who you were,
yeah,
but maybe your previous identity was intact.
yeah, that's why she.
Um,
Yeah. You're right. When she realized, it's almost like she snapped out of her, sitcom role. She snapped out of it and she
mm,
said, "Oh yeah, he was killed by Ultron." Like she didn't mean to say it. She just like realized who she is. So yeah, then
mm,
yeah, she slipped. She got caught slipping, and eventually she got thrown out the window. And then Vision came in, and then Wanda gives this. She straight up lied to Vision, and she says, she had to leave, honey. She has to rush home. And then Vision didn't, he wasn't aware of this whole thing. Now, at this point, this was what makes me think. Now, we're still in episode 3, by the way. I know this ties in into 4, but in episode 3,
mm.
remember when I asked you the question, is Vision real? Because if he's a fake imaginary Vision, how is he realizing all these, anomalies in the world, right? How is he realizing all these fake things that are happening, or something's wrong? Oh yeah, that scene when the glitch cut, man, it was so freaky, man. When he's like, something's wrong here, Wanda, and then in a split second, Wanda rewinds and then starts the conversation back where she wants to go, but it just happens in a split second. It's so scary, man. It's so creepy.
She could be a walking reality stone. Do you know that the reality stone is red, and her like psychic thing is also red.
Was yeah, she's
That's
red.
what yeah, that's why I'm considering her to be a walking reality stone.
Wasn't she made
Like
from the
she,
Mind Stone? She was made from the Mind Stone.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, but the fact that she can do this, like alter reality, alter people's identity, that's like, dude, that's doesn't that come from real? Doesn't the reality stone do the same?
yeah,
We saw how it works, right? When Thanos used it to
yeah,
trick
yeah. That's
Gamora
true.
that he was.
But we did also see way before Thanos used it in Age of Ultron. She exhibited the powers of mind control and objects levitating in Age of Ultron.
Yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's
maybe
a yeah,
yeah, maybe she's just like expanding
yeah,
her expertise,
yeah. That's true.
expanding
She
her
became more powerful.
abilities.
Yeah,
Yeah, she's broken
yeah.
like the Nets,
Yeah.
offensive,
The Nets.
offensively.
Man. Okay, so we can touch into more episode 3, but I want to intertwine it with 4 because some things overlap. Because yeah, some things are in between of episode 3 and 4 that we can get into. So let's get into episode 4, man. That's fresh in our minds. We just saw it yesterday. You want to start us off?
Oh yeah, so Geraldine got thrown out. No, that didn't happen first.
The-
So we saw the reblipped of Monica, right? She got reblipped. What's the word blip?
Yeah, the blip. Oh, that was
Was it?
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, she got reblipped where she thought she was beside her mother. Her mother died already
Yeah.
3 years ago. When 3 years ago before she got reblipped. Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and then she's sad. Ooh, haha, and then now she goes to Sword headquarters. Correct, right?
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
She cry, do the thing, go back to Sword, meet the new director, and then the director said, you just got blipped. I don't want you to go to space.
Right.
Do some terrestrial missions, and then that's when we meet Jimmy Woo.
Yes.
The prediction I made, not me, but a lot of people made, that the person who was behind that radio.
Yeah, you actually told me that. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. So you want to go on from here because it's kind of blurry after that.
Oh, okay. So, where were you, Jimmy Woo? Okay, so she meets Jimmy Woo, which has an interesting callback to when he appeared in Ant-Man 2. He was just trying to learn magic tricks, and when she meets Jimmy Woo introduced himself with a magic trick, revealing his card. That was so cool. So that was nice. A good callback, and yeah, I want to touch on that. This episode is really, it throws you off because you start the first 3 episodes with a theme song, and all of a sudden the perspective shift to a real MCU level quality, right? It's not like a sitcom or anything anymore. We're not in that West View anymore.
Yeah, like proper MCU setting.
Yeah, from the
English,
outside. Yeah, so when she meets Jimmy Woo, they're talking about the missing persons case, and then they're in this town called Westview, and then they ask these police officers, and they didn't seem to know that the town called Westview exists. And there was a funny line when she asked the officers, "Where are you from?" Eastview. I laughed at that part. It was so funny. So then the police officers went away, and Monica Rambeau takes out this drone, which it looks familiar to what we saw in episode 2, when the red color drone in the black and white setting, right? It looks a bit different, but they explain why. This episode was full of answers only. So she flies the drone, what looks to be into the city, and then it suddenly disappears. And she's investigating where it went. She touches this invisible looking wall, and then she just vanishes. And then that leaves Jimmy Woo wondering what happened to her, and he calls in some support. Now that's where the new character comes in. There's Darcy from Thor, man. What do you think about Darcy?
Dude, I think she's gonna be. No, that's too much. I think she's gonna be like a good, like a Louis type character, like
Oh, from Ant-Man. Yeah.
yeah, like every movie got that Louis, I think she's gonna be that. I think, yeah, we're gonna see her again definitely in a later MCU movie.
Yeah. Well, now
Possibly,
she's
possibly the Thor, possibly in Thor.
Oh, yeah, man.
Yeah, so she's really good. I like her character. I like her sassiness.
Yeah, her
Like
sassiness.
when they were in the truck, like he was asking the guy, "What's your field?" And then the guy's like, "We're not supposed to talk." And She diverted to another person. She answered. Another person she answered, and then the guy who came with attitude answered, and then she said, "No one asked you."
Bro, I laughed so much at that part, man. Man. That was
Yeah,
yeah, that was
yeah.
her yeah,
She is the comic relief.
the comic relief. That was her she's back
Yeah,
kind
that
of.
is her
Yeah,
role. Yeah, that is her role.
that's her role.
She could be, she could be pivotal if she gets powers or something. I don't
Oh,
know.
bro, you're right. But she's already pivotal in this episode because she's the one who discovers that the signals that are
Yeah, correct,
radiating from the West View is,
correct,
yeah,
correct,
can
correct,
be
correct.
read on an old television. So she asks, "Can I have an old TV?" And she picks up these signals. And meanwhile, the sword guys they're finding a way to get into Westview, so they send in their soldiers in hazmat suits. And then we found out that whatever you pass through in the force field gets turned into what it would be in Wanda's vision, in Wanda's world. So the hazmat suit guy turns into the beekeeper that we saw in episode 2. So that's kind of cool, man. Like the way it transforms to the era of the time. Well, that's to me that's
By the way, before I let you continue,
yeah.
for people who don't know, the person who was writing on the notepad, that was Darcy.
Oh
Now
yeah,
we
yeah.
know it's from the first episode.
The end of the first
Uh,
episode, yeah, yeah.
yeah, that's Darcy. That's Darcy.
See, they
Now we
answered
all know.
another question, yeah.
Now, now we know.
So that's what happened to the beekeeper. That's where he came from. And we eventually see him crawl up the manhole, and suddenly Wanda says no. We never see what happened to him, but I assume he got thrown out as well. And also the drone, the helicopter was taken a picture. Somebody took a picture of it in the world, and presented it to Jimmy Woo, and Jimmy Woo was like, "Why did you color it?" And then the officer says, "I didn't." So then they figured out, they connected the dots, like, so whatever we put through in the world, it will not be in black and white, because that's the helicopter was not in black and white. So then, Darcy has this idea that we can actually get through to the sitcom world if there's a radio or something nearby where Wanda can intersect with the transmission. So that's where your
Hmm.
theory was answered in the episode 2, when she was at the pool party meeting, and she was
Hmm.
talking to Dottie, and then she hears, "Wanda, Wanda, who's doing this to you, Wanda?" And then it was Jimmy Woo, man. The way he said it was spot on, accurate.
You know that scene was cut. You know when they were when Darcy was looking at some scenes,
Mm.
like some scenes were cut. You know, I think one example was that one that radio one. I think uh, sh we knew what happened, but she deleted that from
Yeah,
the
she
entire
deleted.
scene.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, oh, she's OP, man.
She censored it. Yeah,
Con
like they said, she censored it. Yeah.
control panel waifu something.
So yeah, so then they watched the episodes as if they were us, the audience, and on top of that, they had added another layer of audience participation when Jimmy Woo writes on the whiteboard all the questions that we have been asking, such as, is Vision alive? Why is this happening at the same time? Is it happening in the same reality? And all that. All the questions that we're asking, they're asking as well. Who's behind all this? And oh yeah, one of the things that I didn't notice was he also wrote the word Skrulls on the whiteboard. And I thought that was interesting, even though it was just out of shot, out of view. I didn't see it that time. But he wrote the word Skrulls, and they might have considered Skrulls was behind all this.
Didn't you remember when Wanda was staring at Vision for like for longer than normal? Like when you stare, your view changes of that person that you're staring.
Yes, I know where you're going with this.
Yeah, I remember like one moment you see Vision as a whole, she was seeing Vision as a whole, and then the next second we saw Vision dead, without the
Yep,
milestone,
yep,
right?
yep.
So that proves maybe the physical form is there, but maybe Wanda has changed
You're
the
saying that,
appearance,
oh,
the
it's so twisted
appearance.
that she has a dead body walking around and she's reanimating that dead body, man. Oh, that's so
Yeah,
yeah, oh,
yeah, it's like a puppet, but like in her eyes, like it's
bro.
it's just reconstructed as a whole. Maybe I would that kind.
That's so twisted, man. Oh yeah, that was actually at the last part. But before all that, they actually compile all the characters that appear in the episodes, and they turn out to be the missing people that are being searched for in the whole operation. So you're right about the theory that they're actually real people, and they're trapped.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they picked out the Mr. and Mrs. Hart. They picked out Vision's colleague. They picked out um, one thing I noticed they didn't pick up was Agnes. They even picked up her, but no Agnes. There was no file on Agnes. So what do you think that might mean, man? That's kind of weird.
What do you mean the file? I thought she they had her file.
Oh yeah, I'm looking
No,
at it now. Oh, they had her
uh,
file. Oh, nice, nice. Yeah, I was mistaken.
they were sticking on the board where they put the
Yeah.
magnet on. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I just noticed that now because in the episode when I was watching, I was like, why is there no Agnes? Is she somebody they couldn't identify because she's a witch?
Yeah, if that's
Yeah,
if that's the case, then
it's a dead
it could be
giveaway.
fake. It could be fake somehow. It could be,
Ah,
still could be fake. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, you're right, you're right. So, okay, so that kills my theory that Agatha's behind all this because she was also on the board, the missing persons board.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, let's get to that scene because there's nothing happening until you see the dead vision scene. That dead vision scene actually reveals more, but also at the same time asks more questions because to me it seems like, oh yeah, clearly there's a dead vision walking around, but to Wanda it's a real live vision. But also, I'm asking myself, is sometimes you see this a lot in movies where a boy sees a girl who reminds him of his ex-girlfriend for a split second, and then he shakes his head, and then suddenly, oh, it's a random girl. Like those kind of scenes. So maybe Wanda is looking in the dead vision in a way of, PTSD kind of thing. It's not really dead vision. She's just seeing the trauma that she saw in Infinity War, but it's not really a dead vision. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's him, but it's not him.
Yeah,
Is that's a long story short, right?
yeah. I'm saying, yeah, it's not like there was an actual dead vision. She just looks at him and reminded her of the past, but he's not
Oh,
actually.
okay,
Yeah, yeah.
okay.
It's like
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah. Like that's a Disney way of saying it, but isn't it cooler? It was like it's an actual dead
yeah.
body.
It'll be dark.
Not cooler like how you say it's more intriguing,
Yeah, yeah.
in terms of
Yep,
story-wise.
I agree, I
Yeah,
agree. But
it's,
just to just to argue, and then she says,
yeah,
yeah,
but this is Disney. It could be what you're saying.
yeah, the
I
Disney
think
way.
that's what you're saying. Yeah, the Disney way. Yeah.
So yeah, so then Wanda says, yeah, I got everything under control. And meanwhile, we see outside when Monica gets thrown out of the field, she says, "It's all Wanda. It's all Wanda." And when I saw that scene, I had two questions. Is that it? Did they figure out the whole thing in episode 4? It's too early to call game in episode 4 when Sword just figures out it's all Wanda suddenly like that. Like that's it?
No,
Yeah. I think
I
there's more
agree.
in play here.
I
Yeah.
agree. Like despite the Quicksilver is in this from Fox is in the series. Are you high?
Uh, Okay, I don't know what to say about that. The actor who plays Quicksilver on Fox is in the series, but we don't know he's playing Quicksilver in this series.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it could be fake news. Forget that. What were you saying? What were you saying?
but it'll be cool.
Oh,
It'll be cool though, cause he is Quicksilver. So yeah, it'll be interesting.
what were you saying? I
Uh,
forgot.
okay, I was saying that the "It's All Wanda" scene, it it
Oh yeah,
to
yeah,
me
yeah.
it's not a reveal because they couldn't have dropped the ball in episode 4, man. Maybe it's more than that. There's more than
They're doing this on purpose, like a smoke
yeah.
screen. Maybe it's Mephisto all along.
I know. To
So
me, I have the same theory.
like, it's it's too good to be true.
It's too good to be true.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's like playing poker. So you're
yeah,
showing that maybe you're bluffing, but in fact
right.
you're not.
This could all be a red
Something like
herring. Yeah,
yeah, something like that. So
yeah.
I think it's still open-ended.
It's yep,
Very
yep. Uh,
there are many lanes in the avenue.
I just had a weird thought, man. I just had a very depressing thought that, okay, so now Sword thinks they got it all figured out. Haha, it's all Wanda, it's all Wanda. But we know that it's more than that. We know that it could be Mephisto, it could be somebody bigger in play. But imagine that Sword sees Wanda as the threat, but in reality, there's somebody bigger who's controlling the puppets, and they take down Wanda, not knowing that there's a person bigger in play, and and it will be like, you know, it'll be so sad. You know, like when you think you solved the crime, but there's a bigger boss in the play, you don't know that you actually helping the big boss take out the target, right? So that's kind of depressing to think about.
It's almost like the Winter Soldier scenario or thing
Oh, what happened?
where no, like he was controlled by Hydra, right?
Oh yeah,
Not
yeah.
knowing, he didn't know that he was being controlled
Ah,
until he was woken up, basically, like his original self.
yeah.
You
Oh
know,
yeah.
maybe Mephisto is doing the same for Wanda. It's still like someone that is definitely controlling her now. Like there's no point of revealing this early
Hmm.
uh, without uh, without a catch. You
Without a
know what I'm
catch.
saying? Yeah, there must be a reason why they're revealing this thing that I think is throwing us off.
Yep. Yeah, you're right.
Uh,
You're right. I think I agree with you. Hey, by the way,
so,
Mephisto goes by another name in the comics. You know that?
but
He goes by
anti anti Ashraf.
ah, no, he goes by Ralph. And does that name sound familiar to you?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's that Indian guy.
Huh?
Isn't it?
No, no, it's Agnes's husband. When she keeps saying my husband Ralph, the name Ralph is actually Mephisto's name in the comics. So that could be a
Yeah,
big
I
sign.
said this.
Oh yeah.
I
Oh, you
said
said
this.
this?
I said this last
Oh,
episode.
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
I said this.
I forgot that you
Like,
said that. But what if?
no, I didn't say that they were married. I said that they were working together. So
Oh yeah, yeah.
they were so yeah.
So yeah, okay. So predictions for next episode is you're saying Quicksilver's in it. I'm saying I want to see it, but I don't think Disney wants to do it because that's Fox, and I don't know whether they
Dude,
want.
like if you go to Disney Plus now, they have The Simpsons. They have
Yeah, I know. Disney
the
bought Fox. Yeah, I
Family
know that. I know
Guy.
that. Disney bought Fox.
Yeah.
I'm saying that when Quicksilver was introduced in Age of Ultron, it's not the same Quicksilver in Fox.
Uh,
They could have easily brought the guy from Age of Ultron, but why did they have to bring the guy from Fox? You know, because
Multiverse, man. Multiverse.
then they could have brought
Multiverse.
Toby. They could have brought Andrew Garfield for all we know. So we don't know that. Yeah.
No, that's another movie.
And so you're predicting Doctor
Maybe,
Strange as well
maybe.
will show up. That is the theory that I'm going with, Doctor Strange. Somebody said
Uh,
Wong is a more higher degree than Doctor Strange, and I think that hey, that's possible, because till now we only got secondary characters besides these two Avengers. You know, these are two biggest Avengers in the series, and they're the names of the series. But the side characters till now have been Monica Rambeau, have been Agent Wu, have been Darcy,
but
people who know Avengers but they're not Avengers. So what if the person from Doctor Strange's side story is not Doctor Strange, it's Wong. Maybe Wong is
right now there are more side characters than the actual, like the main guys.
yeah, like obviously the main guys are like what, six people and the side characters are literally everybody else.
No, no, no. I mean, like from the team, from the Avengers.
Yeah, I mean, Black
Wanda
Panther
and
has like
everything.
16 side characters, and he's one. And the Strange has
Oh,
like
well, that's
two,
true.
yeah.
That's true. That's true.
But
I'm saying that for the sake of symmetry, of even distribution, maybe Stephen Strange won't help them. But I don't know. I might be wrong. But we'll see. We'll see how
we
it
will
goes.
see, man. Do you think it's more likely though that a side character instead of a main character shows up?
Like in terms of money and logic, yes.
Ah, you're thinking in those terms.
Yeah, yes, that's more that's more of the reason for me, the money and for mainly the money actually.
Yeah, availability and all that. Uh,
Availability exactly.
Bro, what if
I
Loki
don't
shows up? He's not a side character. He has a show coming up next, or next two
no no
shows.
no
Yeah.
I don't think it could be him, but I would say other than in terms of in the other like how, the likeliness that they will come to the series. Wong, Strange, Loki.
Okay.
Why Loki at the bottom? Because he got his own show. What more do you want?
Yeah.
I'm not saying you shouldn't go like do whatever you want. It's your company, your project. Don't don't let my analysis or
Predictions.
opinion deter you from what you want to do. It's just how I feel in my opinion. Like, you know,
So that's your top
strange
three, huh?
because strange because of the movie, of course, and then one because of the money,
Okay.
and the availability.
All
Like you
right.
said,
Oh, okay, I'm gonna throw another name. You know the name I hate to say, but it's the connection with Monica Rambeau. What do you think she will show up?
City.
You think yes or you think no?
No, what's the name?
Captain Marvel. You just want to make me say it, huh?
She's number four. Number four. In my in my in my list, she'll be number four. As in like hell no.
Okay,
Won't
that's
come.
awesome.
She she won't come. Like hell no.
Well, for me,
I don't.
I think I agree with you for the most part. From your order in number one, Wong, number two, Strange, number three, Loki, number four, yeah, I don't even have a number four, so no need. So yeah, top three, I think I'll say the same.
Mm.
Okay, man,
Is
episode
that it?
five.
Is that it? Like did we miss anything?
Did we miss any? We missed one. I don't know if you want to call it important thing, or two actually, two
Mm,
important things. One of them is,
mm.
since we're now in the outside world, do you think that we'll see a commercial ever again? Because there was no commercial in this episode, right? There
I
was.
I when I saw the trailer for the next one, it was still in the same setting as we had this episode, so I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. But anything can happen.
Yeah, but till now, episode 1 to 3, we have been in the show, in the WandaVision sitcom. But now that we've
Yeah,
seen the
so
outside world, do you think we'll come back to the
mm,
sitcom, or do you think it'll be like a back and forth between inside and outside?
we'll probably will go to they'll probably go to KFC maybe something like that. The,
Like
no
fully
commercial.
into that.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like no, there will not be another commercial.
Yeah.
Like I don't think so, but it's likely because
Yeah, because now we've seen the outside, so maybe if they want to do it, they can. You know, they start at the beginning of the show with the inside the TV, and then they flash to the outside in some cuts.
mhm.
Oh, here's another thing that I think we missed. In the end of the very last scene of this, when Wanda, touches Vision's face, and she's like, "Okay, so what should we watch tonight?" And then, did you see Vision's face after that? Did you notice that something weird happens with Vision because
Like what the milestone.
the
Uh,
it was in that scene when she sees dead Vision, and then she shakes her head and it's okay, everything's okay, and she says, "I got it all under control," right? And then she picks up the baby, and she wants to end the episode by saying, "What should we watch next?" And then you know what happens? They went to the sofa, they turned on the TV. That's the end, right? But if you notice, when Wanda picks up the baby and walks past Vision, the look on Vision's face is kind of like something's still wrong. Something's he's worried about something, and then when Wanda looks at him back, he smiles. He puts on a fake smile, kind of like if you're worried about your exam results and somebody asks you to go to KFC, and then you give them a fake smile and then you just go along with them. That's what Vision was doing. Like she when she's not looking at him, he's worried about something, and then when she looks at him, he just give her a fake smile. So I think he's gonna figure out things in the coming episode.
yeah, I think yeah, Vision will be. Well, I think next episode we'll see Vision as will have a more pivotal role
Yeah.
and how he will impact the story despite being dead. I think that's an interesting thing to do because we all know the guy is dead. Right? How is he alive? That's the question, the $1 million question.
Yeah, even Darcy
Even
said,
though
yeah.
even though I think it's easier to bring him back to life than another human being because he's not.
Somebody said
Yeah,
that if Vision was really alive, what's the point of this whole show? Because there's no reason for Wanda to be crazy and psycho and all that, kidnapping people and all that. If Vision was alive, she'd be like, "Hey, everybody, I managed to find a way to revive my husband." So there's no reason for her to be sad and grumpy and all that. But but the fact that she's like this means that she knows she cannot change the real, true reality that her husband is dead. So yeah, that makes sense to me. Like if Vision was alive, to me Vision is dead, of course. Yeah, but some of these people are still insisting that he's alive, and I'm like, if he was alive, there would be no WandaVision. There would be no reason for this show.
yeah, there won't be even yeah, maybe there wouldn't be Thanos. Maybe the Mind Stone would have been with Loki the entire time.
Hmm.
Maybe like, he wouldn't have come to Wakanda, killed everyone.
That's
Uh,
how yeah.
yeah,
That's I think how Wanda's story is kind of like Joker, but a female version, is because
yeah,
Wanda was going through all these crazy things. Like she had to kill her own lover, and then all just to realize that Thanos can rewind time and kill him again in front of her. So she essentially killed him for nothing, bro. That's so sad, man. That's incredibly sad. She already lost everybody she loves, including one she killed for no reason. Uh, but
Yeah, that time stone was broken.
yeah, would you or somebody theorized that the end of this series will be so depressing that she has to come to grips with the reality that Vision will. The end of the show, the boss battle will be Wanda versus Vision, because Vision will say, "It's time for me to go for real because this you cannot change it." He said it once in Infinity War. He said it like 3 times in Infinity War to get her to kill him, but she just couldn't let it go. And then in Endgame, she just breaks and breaks even more, and now she has to come to grips with the fact that he's asking her to let him go again. Man, that's kind of sad.
Yeah,
The,
that's very romantic.
yeah, and that's why Wanda will be the villain in Doctor Strange too. Wanda will not be the ally for Doctor Strange.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what's the funny thing? You're not alone. So a lot of people want her to become the villain now. Ever since the rumor started. I don't know whether it was a rumor
yeah, it's a rumor. It's a rumor. Yeah,
or or it's a fact. People have been jumping into this movement where they want to become evil. Yeah.
yeah, it's still a rumor, but one thing that adds to the fire of that rumor is recently there was a set photo for Spider-Man 3. I don't know if you saw this, but there was a set photo for Spider-Man 3, and in these billboards with all these posters, right? One of those billboards, and one of the, some of the posters were saying, "I believe in Mephisto. I believe in Mysterio," because at the end of Far From Home, Mysterio reveals Spider-Man's identity, right? So one of the posters said, "I believe Spider-Man, I believe Mysterio, I believe Spider-Man, I believe Mysterio." But in that board, somewhere on the poster board, there were other posters that people might not pay attention to, and those posters are missing children's posters. So people are theorizing if WandaVision, Spider-Man 3, and Doctor Strange are connected, what if those missing children's posters has something to do with WandaVision? And that what if at the end of this series she loses her twins, which we might think they're real, might think they're fake, but a mother taken away from her babies is not anything you want to play with, man. No matter if it's real or fake. If you take a mother from her child, you're gonna get it, man. You're gonna die. So, what if that that yeah,
Especially from Wanda, you will be.
you'll be ripped from your own reality. So what if that's the reason she breaks? So she kidnaps all the children. I don't know. That's a bit of a wild theory, but she couldn't have any kids herself, so she takes everybody else's kids. Maybe.
Yeah, that could be. That's a good trade.
Yeah,
It could just be like like standard babies doing their thing, and then she comes and look at them that they are vacant, and then they take them home, and it's not even hers, maybe.
yeah.
It could be Agnes, maybe.
Okay. See, that's why I like to discuss this with you because you have more interesting deductions, more interesting theories. Maybe it's Agnes. Yeah, yeah.
I just can't, I don't think there's a possibility that it's not one that's somebody else.
Yeah.
That's more avenues to explore.
To explore. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna wrap this up, but I want to ask you your final thoughts. What do you think? We have how many more episodes? Five? Five more?
Yeah, 5 or 4. I don't know.
Hey, Don's Journey in the chat says, "Hey guys, what up, Don's? Yeah, we're talking about WandaVision.
Who is that? What is it? What is the name?
It just says, "Hey guys, yeah, man, what you think about that episode? That episode was awesome. That blew my mind, and I can't wait for the fifth one. We have 4 more, don't we? Or yeah, there are 9
Yeah.
episodes in total. Yeah,
So yeah, it's 5 more.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, we're just about to wrap up the show, but I'm glad you came here for this, and yeah, ah man, that episode was so amazing. I want to watch it again after this.
for number five. I think it's gonna be a Magnus, or maybe it could be another reveal, or maybe we get a glimpse of Mephisto. Maybe Mephisto.
Oh, Don says, I truly don't think it's only Wanda doing this alone. Yes, that's what I was saying. That's what I think we all agree in that. Because,
Yeah,
yeah, first of all, Agnes wasn't really, they saw Agnes when they were looking for the missing people's missing persons board on the whiteboard. They didn't really touch on Agnes. So I think that maybe Agnes is in it. To me, that's the running theory right now. But I don't know. What do you think?
could be Luis.
It could be Mephisto. It could be
Could be Luis.
probably, some people are
Could be
saying, what was it? Nightmare. Nightmare is another Marvel villain, probably.
mm, like when we said what we got look like.
Yeah. So, do you have anything else to say?
Oh, look like Mephisto. Yeah, yeah. Oh, so this guy could be related to Blade. Oh, yeah, that's another theory, but we all know Mephisto.
All right. Don's is saying, I believe Mephisto is part of it because only. Oh yeah, because the devil references. Yeah, you're right. In episode 2, when Agnes was like, when they were like, the devil's in the details, and then Agnes was like, that's not the only place where he is, and there's several devil references um, where she says, my husband Ralph looks better in the dark. And I thought that was a good reference, and the fact that the name Ralph is also Mephisto's alias in the comics, if I'm not mistaken, like you were saying, Fico, last week. So this
Mm.
could be it. To me, it's like it could be a red herring. They could have thrown all these Easter eggs our way just to throw us off, but it might not be. There's something there that we can bite on. Yeah, yeah. It could be to throw us all off. Yeah, you're right. So,
Yeah.
one of the things that we haven't suspected is, remember that guy, Dottie's husband, the one in episode 3 where she asked him, "Does this earring makes me look fat?" And then the lights turn off, and then the husband was like, "Thank God." that that part, that what if it's like somebody we don't expect, somebody like Herb, somebody like that awkward mustache guy who's the husband of Dottie. So yeah, we don't know. But it's fun to theorize, man. Like
Yeah.
episode 4, it's only been 4 episodes in this, and we are making all kinds of theories. The show is only half an hour long, and we've been going twice the length of one episode just to discuss about the theories. Yeah, exactly. I do believe Wanda does have control of what's going on, but I think she's still being manipulated. Yes, because Sword says it's all Wanda, it's all Wanda, and we were just saying that. Oh, she's fragile? Yeah, you're right. We were just saying that when Sword figures out it's all Wanda, to me it's like, okay, so in episode 4 they figured all this out. What are you going to do for the rest of the 5 episodes? Like, are you going to spend 5 episodes sending in Sword, the whole Sword army just to go into the force field of Westview and take her out? I don't think it takes 5 episodes to do that. I think that over these
I
five
think she's gonna
episodes, it's
snap.
going to be.
She's gonna snap.
Yeah, they're going to figure out more, some of the strings are going to unravel. Don says, when she blasted Rambo out of Westview, she almost had a look of concern as if she didn't want to do it. Oh, that's interesting. That is interesting. Because, yeah, she's never done that to an ally before, especially like her fellow Avenger, Captain Marvel. She fought side by side with Captain Marvel in Endgame, and
Or she did it on purpose.
she did it on
She
purpose.
did
You
it on
think, out of grief and all that sadness? Probably.
no, like maybe like consciously she knows that she is in the she is in danger. So
Oh, Fico, your mic is away from you, so we can't hear you a bit.
Hold on.
Yeah, what we're saying, like, do you think she did it on
Oh.
purpose?
Yeah, she's doing it on purpose, maybe to save her,
To save
You know,
Rambo?
yeah, because maybe like she knows what's happening to her. Yeah.
Yep, I don't know about that, man. But your point of view is also correct because she might have, she didn't kill her. She just pushed her out. She like Don said, she blasted her out of the field. Yeah, that's why it has to be something more. So we find out Wanda is doing this in episode 4. Yeah, what are the other episodes going to be about? Yep, I believe it's too simple. I believe that this reveal is not even, it's not, it's just to throw us off, because it's just like there's so many unanswered questions. The same questions that Agent Jimmy Woo was writing on the board are the same questions that we're asking ourselves. Is Vision really dead? Because we saw him as a dead corpse with 1 split second or 2 seconds of his there was a hole in his head and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it. That's it from us. This is what we think of this past episode. Leave a like, subscribe, and
Yeah, well, thanks a lot for joining us, man, Dons. Hope you liked that episode, and hope we can talk about it next week in episode 5. So,
don't do drugs.
yeah. So, all right, man. We'll see you next time. Thanks.
This has been another episode of All the Way with A&A.
Brought to you by Azrin and Alfico. On to the next one. See you soon.